Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem HaRakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth, pushing this word to the four corners. Got this article on Yahoo from AFP. Cash-strapped Argentines queue for eyeball scans, and you know, you see the titles. It's like it's plain as day. It's like the any kind of this like biometric data, collecting these things more or less just feed into that beast system, and how this thing's being established. Because with the well, even with this, I'll go into it. But this is basically like a global collection of data essentially being put together. Because you got, what was it say? WorldCoin is an initiative of OpenAI chief Sam Altman, and yeah, so it's the OpenAI guy is pushing this, and these all these different technologies being developed, they're essentially gonna be like spearheading that whole system, and a big part of that is is gonna tie in with that MLTB, that micro C hip, which will bind it all together essentially, because it will tie it irrevocably to the person. And that's what these things like fingerprints, eyeball scans. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Because there was a palm print as well that that what you call it was doing Amazon. But these things being developed, I basically just see them as something that's being set up, put in the lead up to in on the pipeline, essentially to lead into that MOTV, and then Argentina, that just makes you feel, oh, they got where Jake is at. But obviously these things, with the mark, it's gonna hit globally anyway. The whole world is gonna be tried. So as I say, Argentines eyeing a financial boost are lining up by the thousands to have their irises scanned in exchange for a few crypto tokens as part of an online biometric project under scrutiny in several countries. And yeah, and they're being paid in crypto, which there you see how a time of crisis, when people are hard up, then these things are way easier to push out, because there's some 3 million people worldwide have so far provided their iris data to WorldCoin, an initiative of OpenAI chief Sam Altman, but few have embraced the project more fervently than Argentines. 500,000 people in the South American nation have participated since WorldCoin launched last July, and queues for scans have grown larger in recent months of fast shrinking disposable income. Okay, I did it because I don't have any money for no other reason. I did it because I don't have any money for no other reason. 64-year-old martial arts teacher Juan Sosa told AFP after staring for a few seconds into a silver iris scanning orb, roughly the size of a bowling ball, at one of the 250 WorldCoin locations across Argentina. Look at 250. So these men are collecting. But yeah, these men are doing it for money. So there you see how it is when there's a moment of crisis. Any time there's some form of difficulty, especially financial difficulty, that money, a solution being offered, but then you having to basically deal with, for this is essentially give up an eye scan, which you just getting that shout. It's like that's something people have had a huge issue with over here in the UK. When you get arrested, they take I can't remember if it's an eye scan as well, but I know they take fingerprint scans and basically tie it. Yeah, they take fingerprint scans and tie it to your identity. Basically when you're booked in, and they can hold that information indefinitely. Like there was a whole fuss over it, but then man pushed that through. That shit's just there. So with with these biometrics, these things are basically, they know they can kind of have it tied to you forever. And the thing with like the iris is, there was what the movie Minority Report, um, where you had the that was, so called, a few decades or whatever in the future, where they had technology where anywhere you went, you'd basically get your eyes scanned, and then they would have your, like, because they would already have the database with your identity and whatnot. So it's anywhere you went, they would scan, and then it wasn't just used for general just identification, like government identification or whatever. It was also used for like advertising and these things, the monetary, these different companies and whatnot. This whole capitalist system was engaging with that as well. And this, these are things that very easily already, yeah, kind of do. There was remember there was that YouTube video a guy did where he had his phone next to him, and then like was typing on it on his PC, and then said like, I'm gonna say this word, like I think he loaded up a web page with like ads on it, Google ads or something. Maybe it was just Google, I can't remember. But and then it was like, after a certain point, I'm gonna talk about this particular thing next to the mic on my phone, and then I'll refresh the page and see if there's anything related to on it. And then it was like blah 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 blah. Spoke for like a minute and a half or something, or a minute, about, I think it was like dog biscuits or something. And then like he refreshed the page and then was getting ads about dog biscuits. And these things happen. You'll have, like, you might talk to someone, next to your phone about a particular topic. You might mention you might mention a sports team. You might mention a certain place on the planet. You might mention a certain brand. You might mention a certain movie. You might mention any particular thing. And then you might go to like load up Google and go to search something, and then you'll have like in recommendations something related to that topic. Because these, like, all these companies as well, they track all this different information and data, and they use it to build profiles so they can advertise to you. And then with all these profiles, the government will subpoena, these records, information, or basically make use of that as well. It's not just something that will what do you call it? It's not just something that'll be used by it's not just something that'll be used. Was okay, no, used just by the government. It'll be used by the thingy as well. Used by the government. It'll be used by my brain is fucking failing me. By these corporations as well, and those corporations are gonna link into the system as well, because all that information, all that data that they're centralizing it. This guy's related to OpenAI. It's they're gonna be able to basically tie certain things. And the thing is as well, you're giving them coins, the wallet them coins are in. They might tie like, okay, how are they using these funds? All those transactions are gonna be trackable on the blockchain. And then they're obviously going to know, because they give the money to the wallet. Then they can track those transactions, and then whatever you utilize it for, then they'll send that, or you might send it to a certain bank account. Then they can tie that bank account to to the irises of that data. So they can. That's the thing is once they kind of have the biological thing tied to it, then they know they can just be like, okay, now we just track this wherever, see what shops you go, what parts of the town or whatever, That's, that's how it can be used once it's linked in with all these different other systems. But we don't know the extent to which this shit's being pushed, because it's like it's crypto and it's a global thing, so we don't really know. But it could be something laying the groundwork. It could be something normalizing to the people. But we'll kind of have, well, just if you hear it, just like, yeah, you can kind of see, okay, this is something that's gonna kind of be part of that push. Because what does it say? The project seeks to use these iris specs, unique to each person on Earth, to develop a digital identification system, a sort of passport that will guarantee the holder is a real human being and not a bot, thus securing online transactions. So yeah, they're using it as a form of, what was it? Well, security, I guess. But it's also to tie the well, okay, let me read on because it says it. The project seeks to use it to unique to each person on Earth to develop a digital ID system, a sort of passport that will guarantee the holder is a real human being and not a bot, thus securing online transactions. So it'd be a thing where your biometrics are tied to the transactions, and I'm guessing they'll be done through the world coin or whatever. Or it might just, I don't know. I don't know, but it could go broader than that. Or it might just be like, okay, you can use this as a guarantee of identification. And then they can say like, yeah, we confirm this is a real person or not. But these things are, also it's funny as well because these open AI is like the development of AI is what's created a lot of these problems. So it's essentially monetizing the solution, which, that's typical, what you call it? MO of Esau Edom, so-called white man. His MO is, milk money out of these things. Says volunteers do not provide any other information, such as their name, address, or phone number. But the thing is, anyway, is the point of the system is to be an ID system. So all that information will be tied to it. And then that's the thing as well, is like, because it's like if later down the line, like, okay, you want to utilize the system, of course they're already going to have your shit there. And then they'll have things tied to that crypto they shot to you and whatnot. They'll be able to build a profile and tie it to you anyway, because they've got the biometrics. So it says what the personal iris data is encrypted and according to WorldCoin safe. Yet Kenya, Spain, and Portugal have ordered it to pause collecting biometric data on their territories pending investigations by numerous countries into possible privacy concerns. Argentina's own agency for access to public information has said it's verifying WorldCoin security measures with a view to protecting the privacy of its users. It has yet to make a ruling and has not suspended data collection. These people are going through very tough times where one's salary is not enough. That is why they do these things. Miriam Marrero, a 42-year-old supermarket cashier, said after being scanned in Buenos Aires. Yeah. So that's basically they're being offered to engage with a system for some guap, for some cash. And then they'll get paid, but then they're toast, man. They're tied to the system, and that's the thing is this is with iris scans, whatever. With those further kingdoms, then it could be if they're offering, okay, this is just for a one-off payment, which I think they say it further down. Sometimes to have a roof over your head, you need to do other things to be able to afford it. Otherwise, in Argentina today, you can't afford a roof. For volunteering their data, initial participants receive 10 tokens, each of WorldCoin's own cryptocurrency, the WLD. In Argentina, with its notoriously unstable exchange rate, the value differs wildly. When Sosa Marrero received theirs, 10 tokens were worth the equivalent of about $80. So yeah, for like $80, they've basically, yeah, sold their biometrics. And that's the thing, is it's because of what? The crisis they're in. And that's the thing you can see. So for these, these things that people they might have reservations. They might feel a certain way about it. But if they're thinking like, nah, I need to, I got to fucking pay rent. I got to make rent. I got to make sure my kids is fed. I got to make sure my family's provided for. Then those things can easily just go out the window. And then they'll just be like, you know what, fuck it, nah, I'll just engage with it. Because that's how peak it is. $10 tokens equivalent of $8 out of necessity. So it says Natalia Zuazo, a technology policy specialist and director of digital counseling firm Salto Agencia, told AFP WorldCoin was attracting most volunteers in countries in crisis, the poorest countries, because people are more likely to enter into such transactions. And yeah, why is that? Because life's peak, life's on top. Them guys are trying to stay afloat. That's how they're gonna get caught in it. And that's how when these incidents like now come to pass, where over here in the Western world, especially because people over here are far more accustomed to the comfort that they have, and the system just running and working. If they're like, yo, you can just be out there, doing whatever the fuck you want in the wilderness, and there's no guarantee of nothing. Or you engage with the system, you take that Karagma, take the MOTB, and then just, and then you can deal. People jump on it, man. Because why? People are shook. People are hella shook. They ain't sure. They ain't got faith of what's gonna go down. As far as for them, there's no guarantee, man. They don't know if shit's just gonna work out or not. And then as well, when there's a crisis happening, even more so. Because they might be thinking like, yo, is this country even gonna make it? Like, I'm gonna have to fuck off somewhere else to try and survive out there. We're gonna be able to eat. We're gonna have a job, in 2 weeks. Things to that extent. Revelation 13 and 16 says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. That's what it's going to come to when that system's, essentially made where you have to engage with it to utilize, any form of financial transaction or spending money. Then people are going to fold en masse. People are going to fold supremely en masse. But then what? That's why you're going to have, those men that Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Hashem Rakakadash are dealing with, where they're not going to fold, And the thing is, it might not just be easy. It might not just be a thing where, you're just kind of out there. And then, they ain't really pressure being applied to you like that. You're just having to make do to survive, which, is still a stress. But it also could be where, you're getting immense hell for not engaging. You're getting supreme hell for not engaging. But for most people, that's gonna be too much. They're not gonna be thinking like, okay, yeah, let me hold it down. They're gonna be thinking, nah, it's over. And I must needs hold on to that man to survive. Uh, Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. The walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And yeah, these essentially, putting that faith, putting that trust in Esau Edom, because he's the new Egypt. He's the new Babylon. This guy's a new kingdom, which isn't even new. It's a rebirth of the old. But this is the Western world, America especially. The so-called wonders, scientific wonders. Those sciences falsely so-called wonders. That's a big part of what draw people in. They see iPhones, vehicles, cars, planes, boats. They see you know all these cities, the desolate places, built it back up, and then they're the things that they're thinking like, yeah, no, this is what I'm gonna trust in. They're thinking, yeah, that's where safety lies. And then what? There's the MOTB, which essentially signifies and exemplifies. They're just like, yeah, okay, no, this is it. I'm gonna hold to that. I'm just gonna, yeah, let me hold that down. That's how these guys are looking at these things. They're thinking, let me hold that down. That's how these guys are looking at Esau, his system, all these different technological systems and fingers as well, is as well as for the safety. They're just thinking like, oh, this is just, how life is. Just, how it went from having, TVs and PCs to like having smartphones and whatnot. Thinking, okay, the next thing is, technology keeps getting smaller. You're just gonna merge with the technology. You just have like, okay, have something in your eye where you can just see certain things. Have something in your hand, so you can do certain things. Have something in your, in your head, so you can engage. That's how people are looking at it, not realizing these things have been spoken of. And there'll be a point in time where you're gonna have to make the choice. Either you're gonna be down with that MOTB, the system, or not. Or not. Because even this, Ecclesiasticus 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him, as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not altogether wiped away. Yeah. So as these guys are all what do you call it? Caught up, yeah, in the mindset of Esau Edom. These, they're looking at him. They're just thinking like, wow. Especially because he revamped his image. He's basically what become the angel of light. No marvel, the Satan's become the angel of light, man. They're looking at him like, oh, he's basically changed the parameters of what righteousness and goodness is, so that his actions, his system, essentially propagates that. So people are thinking like, wow, these guys are just, just so righteous, so mighty, so great. Now I must needs follow them. But, in reality, that's doggy poo poo, man. That don't make no damn sense. That's BS. Because why? Esau's not. He's known by his actions, and those things haven't changed. Certain things are just done behind closed doors. Second Thessalonians 2, 3, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." And yeah, this is something that essential information that was needed, and it wasn't easy to obtain. It wasn't even out there. It was a mystery, man. It was something that needed to at a later point be resolved. And now we're in the time where these things have been revealed. The man of sin, the son of perdition, that's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Even like Esau, Edom, those terms, like no one even recognizes or knows what where them things even go back to. They don't even know what has to do with anything. Because why? A man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Because everything's been confused. Darkness has been put over the people, so they can't even recognize righteousness from wickedness. They don't know what the hell's going on, but they can't follow after Esau, Edom, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And yeah, this guy's basically tried to replace the Most High. He's tried to establish his own law, establish his own system, have all the people have faith within him. And then what even is that guy was what the open AI had. With this AI, he's basically trying to make his own form of the spirit, man. He's trying to utilize technology to supplement for these things, man. To achieve things that Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Hashem Kadash can achieve through the spirit. He's trying to make it happen through that technology. But he's essentially only got it up to a certain point, up to a certain limit. Because why? It's for a certain purpose, for a certain role. That's serving, the Most High, serving prophecy. He's got to keep within the bounds of the word. But yeah, gonna see more of this, because why? In that time. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom. Mm-hmm.